Welcome to SportsMatters TV, brought to you by the Macau Sporting Club and in association with Shooter Snooker and Pool Blackpool, and filmed by Deep Red Productions.
Welcome to Sports Matters. It's Steve here today. Jerry's sadly away, and we're joined by Cork legend Gary Spike O'Sullivan. How are you doing?
Great, Steve. Yourself?
Very, very, very good now. I know we were talking a bit beforehand, so the first thing I want to get into is obviously the fight coming up against the Canadian, Lemieux. I've been following you back and forth a little on Twitter, having a bit of fun on Twitter with.
Yeah, it's funny stuff. Won't be as much fun we get in the ring though. Not for him anyway.
So this is, like I said, you're wearing the Golden Boy Promotions shirt there, obviously. Yeah. This is your second?
This is actually my second fight of this particular deal, but it's my fourth fight in total.
Your fourth fight in total with him. So this guy, once you beat him now on September 15th, he's done. It's the winner of Triple G and Canelo?
Yeah, I'll be looking for the winner of those guys, you know. They're the, regardless, the best fighters in the middleweight division right now, and I'll be looking to fight the winner and achieve my goal of becoming the middleweight champion of the world. And
is there any of the two you'd rather have?
I'm not too fussed really, you know. I've always said I'd like to take Golovkin, so, and stylistically I believe he suits me, and I believe I beat him, and so maybe him. I've always been chasing him, but Canelo is maybe a bigger superstar in the worldwide perspective, brings more money to the table, so maybe him. So I'm not fussed either or. Once I just want to fight the champion.
And do you think there's a good chance of that happening?
Definitely, yeah. I'm gonna deal with Lemieux first. I've got to focus on him first, and I'm training hard and getting ready for him right now, and I'll take care of him on September 15th, and I'll be sitting ringside to watch the two lads go at it, and I'll be looking to fight the winner.
Great stuff. And there's been talk as well about you wanting to bring a fight home to Cork, because I know you're a proud Cork man.
Yeah, it's always been a dream of mine to do what my coach's brother done, Steve Collins, and defend his world championship in Páirc Uí Chaoimh.
Remember it well.
You know, in 1995. That was the very first boxing match I ever attended in my life professionally. I was only 11 years of age. I went with my father and my brothers. It was brilliant. I can still remember it very well, and that's why it was a dream for me. Looking that night, being there and looking at it, I dreamt that one day that would be me, and the reality is becoming closer. And Golden Boy said they would come to Ireland, and so when I went in September, then move on December, take on the winner of Golovkin and Canelo and win that fight, and bring the championship to the world and defend it at Páirc Uí Chaoimh.
Like I say, Cork has a great boxing history, obviously, like Jack Doyle here, as we say, and with the Steve Collins fight, and the Glen boxing, and the own clubbing man that you come out of. Great history. So it would be great in the new Páirc Uí Chaoimh if you were the first boxing match to ever be in the new one.
Yeah, it'll be amazing. I think it's very realistic, and I think it can happen. And as you say, there's a great tradition in boxing in Cork. I think we've had Cork has had the most amateur national championships winners this year. Jack Doyle, of course, best suits in the world that I've been wearing for nearly 11 years now.
And Suits Distributors have here always been good to you as well.
Oh, the best. I'm very loyal to Suits Distributors, as they've been to me since the very beginning. They've backed me since day one, and I'm very appreciative of that. And where I go around the world, my suits are admired, and I'm often asked where I got my suits, and this is the place, and I'm proud to have this interview here today.
It's lovely. Yeah, they have some great suits. The other thing, I want to go back a bit now, and I know we were talking a little bit before this, because I've been following your career a long time, because we grew up near each other in that as well. The first time I ever interviewed you was on the radio, and it was after you'd fought Jimmy LeBlanc, I think, in Massachusetts. I think that was your 7th ever professional fight, and that was your second time already fighting in America at that stage, and you've had a lot of fights in Boston since. The Boston fans love you. Can you talk a little about your connection with the fans over there?
No, I love them in return. I have a great relationship with the fans in Boston, and I think there's quite a few of them going to Vegas for this fight. I've been boxing in Boston since 2009, and now I'm with Murphy's Boxing. I'm signed with them, and also Golden Boy Promotions. It's a co-promotional deal, and Ken Casey, has introduced me to a lot of fans in Boston through his wonderful band, the Dropkick Murphys. He brings me on stage quite a lot in Boston, and I got a lot of support down there from a wide variety of people, rock fans. It's crazy stuff. It's
great stuff, and fighting in the House of Blues there, it must have been something special. It's a great venue.
It's a great venue. It's really, really nice, and I fought there a few times now, and fought in quite a few places in Boston. This is my 13th fight in America. fought in New York and LA and now Vegas.
So when you think this will be what, your 31st professional fight?
This will be my 31st,
and 13 of them in the States, that's almost half.
Yeah.
So that's not bad going for...
No, it's been good. It's been a good journey, you know, an enjoyable one.
Yeah. And the training, let's talk a little bit about this fight. I mean, you're, like I said, I've been following you a long time. You look in amazing shape.
Yeah, I am. I'm in the best shape of my career. I believe I just continue to get better through more commitment to training, more dedication, and you know, there's no stone I leave unturned these days. And you know, I like to say you can't put an old head on young shoulders. When I was younger, I used to think I get away with things, and I learned that you can't, you know. And through experience, I become a better fighter, you know. And
definitely. And if we go back, as well, your last few fights, some great ones there for you to build confidence up for this one.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm very confident going into this fight, and I think it's going to be best performance of my career. And I'm looking to beat Lemieux. He's been beaten by Billy Joe Saunders. He's been beaten by Gennady Golovkin, who are two current middleweight world champions. And I feel as though I can do a better job than they did on him.
Definitely. And they like Douglas, we fought not last fight before that, and they were setting you up as like an opponent for him. Do you feel like, and obviously you stopped it, do you feel you don't quite get the respect you deserve? Because I mean, you've only lost twice. Once was kind of a bit of a battle with Billy Joe, and the other one obviously you got the injury early in the fight.
I'm not too fussed about getting the respect. It doesn't bother me, you know. I know what I am, and I know what I'm capable of, and what other people think is everyone's entitled their opinion, and they can think what they want, you know.
Do you think they definitely underestimated you a bit when they put Douglas in with you?
Yeah, I think in that fight they did. I think he was the favourite in the bookmakers, and he thought he was going to win, but I always know he was going to win, you know. And you know, maybe a few years ago if he'd fought me, he would have beaten me. But I'm a different prospect right now.
So you still have the power now. You've got the brain to go with it as well.
Yeah, and the cardio, the conditioning, and just as I say, I leave no stone unturned, and I believe I'm kind of the complete fighter right now, and I'd be very hard to beat.
And training hard in Dublin as well, I know you're...
Yeah, I train with Paschal Collins, have done, you know, he's my coach, like Suits Distributors for the last 11 years, and, you know...
Wonderful boxing brain on him as well.
He does indeed, yeah, and, you know, he's a wealth of experience. He trained the Petronelli brothers in Boston, Brockton, who trained marvellous Marvin Hagler and Steve Collins, and he trained with Freddie Roach, who trained, you know, lots of great fighters like Manny Pacquiao, and to mention one, you know.
Great stuff. So thanks so much for coming out and talking to us, and we want to wish you the best of luck with the fight on September, and we look forward to the world title coming back to Cork.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.